Okay, gentlemen, you both received your instructions in your dressing room. Right here is good, right here is good. I want a good, clean fight. Obey my commands at all times. Above all, protect yourselves at all times. Let's go.
29 years as a professional referee, Tony Weeks working his 859th professional bout, scheduled for 10 rounds at 168 pounds. Will lightning strike twice? The bell in round one. Rosado told us that he wants to pick up the pace. He wants to show more volume of punches in this fight. Again, remember the first time around in June of 2021, Beck the Bully able to drop Rosado in the opening round. And then we saw it end in highlight reel fashion with a huge upset. The 2021 KO of the year and the last win recorded by Gabriel Rosado.
Yeah, if you're Melikuziev, what you want to do is start pressuring. Obviously, start like you did in the last fight. Set up your punches, go for that body, and do what worked for you in the first fight.
Melikuziev, you know, is an economical puncher. He only throws in the high 30s per round, but he lands 46% of all his power punches, which is everything other than the jab, and 36% overall, which is very good.
Left hand, the southpaw. Melikuziev curled around the guard of Rosado. Rosado working with Hall of Fame trainer Freddie Roach, who wasn't in his corner tonight. He's in the UK, handling other boxing business, but Rosado feels that he can do it again, and it looks like he's trying to, again, has that right hand always locked and loaded, Abner.
Yeah, he looks like he's still setting up that trap. I said if it worked one time, it's going to work again. And this good. This is the first round. You want to set up something. You don't want to give up too many opportunities to get hit. So he's fighting a good distance right now for Rosado.
Now, Rosado told us he thought he could back Melikuziev back a little bit, and he doesn't fight well going backwards. We'll see. He's mostly not doing that yet, but we'll see if he tries it.
There's a straight left down the middle that landed for Melikuziev. Rosado, who Al mentioned, best at 154. He was training to fight at 175 against Gilberto Ramirez, who had a massive scale fail, scuttling that matchup. But Rosado also challenged for a version of the 160-pound title twice against Gennady Golovkin and Peter Quillin. I mean, who hasn't he been in the ring with in a 17-year career?
Yeah, it's pretty extraordinary.
And that was a really good counter right there from Rosado right now. He threw, Melikuziev threw a left, timed it really well, and went for the body.
Melikuziev, a silver medalist and the flag bearer for Uzbekistan at the 2016 Olympics.
Again, good right hand to the body from Rosado, straight.
We mentioned Melikuziev saying he didn't want to be reckless in the rematch, and we've seen since the Rosado fight a more measured approach, but according to the fans in attendance, maybe too measured to get things started here tonight. As we begin round number two, remember what I said about Rosado telling us that he wanted to be more active in this fight. He averages 52 punches a round. In round one, he threw 20.
Well, you know what? That was a smart round for Rosado. I thought so. He didn't throw as many punches, but he was really thinking about the punches that he was throwing, and he landed what he wanted. Good counter punches in this last round for Rosado.
Melikuziev, you know, from Uzbekistan, but he loves the Coachella Valley, the desert in California, and he wants to stay there in Indio. He likes it very, very much, and he loves the Diaz brothers and says they're like family to him. So he's really put roots down there. And the hits are being played in Coachella this weekend. Different kind of hits coming away here tonight on pay-per-view. And of course, it was Gabe Rosado had the biggest hit of his career. That right hand that sent Melikuziev from the ranks of the unbeaten. Only you would know that factoid. Very impressive. You're one of the few people that would know that. Minute 55 left here in round two. And while we talk about Rosado's offense, what about Melikuziev? He threw 14 punches in round one, has only thrown 6 thus far in round two.
But I see what Melikuziev is doing right now. He's feigning. He's trying to see where Rosado has him what he's planning. When you feint, you have Rosado throw the punch that he's planning on, and Melikuziev is seeing that.
Yeah, Melikuziev got that right hook to the body to Rosado, and that's the punch he wants to keep landing. But he's, oh my, Rosado with a nice right. That was reminiscent of what happened in the first fight.
Almost a red right hand there, wearing the red gloves. Nick Cage shot out a minute 5 left in the second, and Melikuziev putting the pressure now on Rosado, but this is where he got in trouble in that first fight, in the corner there where the right hand was launched from Rosado.
And you can feel him saying, okay, I don't want that to happen again.
And this is the fight for Rosado. This is what he wants to do, because he's almost having Melikuziev wanting to go in, because that's his style. He likes to fight in the inside, and since he's not letting any punches in, you know, Melikuziev is getting overexcited, and he might create another a mistake.
Lead right hook twice curled around the guard of Rosado by the Olympic medalist Melikuziev. But a cautious start here to the rematch.
And you talked about Melikuziev not throwing many punches. I mean, his total is super low, only 11 in this round.
At an 8-week camp, a wild card gym, Hollywood, California. Lives in LA since 2014. Of course, a Philly fighter through and through, gutsy and more heart than the 14th of February. That's Gabriel Rosado.
And really a delightful guy on every level. You know, Melikuziev is throwing that jab to the body. He's starting to try and get some rhythm, and the jab will help him do that.
Yeah, that's what helped him set up the body shot last time.
Yeah, good point.
And there it is on cue. Perfect body shot to with the left to the body, and he has to continue to do that.
The last time Rosado faced a lefty, guess, guys.
Tell us.
When he faced Beck the Bully.
I knew that. Yeah. I wanted you to say it.
You want to see if I butcher the last name like we've been doing.
I was testing you.
Hey, Jimmy Lennon Jr. says it's Melikuziev, then that's how we say it.
That's where it is, Melikuziev. And, you know, Melikuziev wants to put that left hand in, and now he's doing that. He was throwing it too wide earlier, and now it's a straighter punch.
Yeah, Rosado letting Melikuziev get in a little bit easier now. He's got to work the jab. He's got to feint him. He's got to take those step backs.
You know, Rosado said, oh my, yeah, well, that's the story of this round, the left hand of Melikuziev. Now, here's the thing. Rosado, you know, he said, I want to show skill, not heart in this fight. And part of that skill, of course, is him wanting to counterpunch, but if he's not able to do it, he's going to have a hard time.
Under a minute left here in the third. Rosado with a left hook to the liver of the southpaw, Melikuziev.
Yeah, I get what you're saying now, but at the same time, he doesn't want to give Melikuziev an opportunity to hit him as well. So that's why he's fighting so cautious, and I can see it. And I'm sure, you know, the experienced Rosado will start picking it up with maybe the 5th round and on.
No,
I mean, this is an experienced fighter.
Yeah, and he has to be careful if he's going to counter.
Of course.
Half a minute remaining in the third. Their first meeting, round 3, was a nightmare for Beck the Bully Melikuziev. Now he goes to the head of Rosado with the left. Crowd getting restless here in Sin City.
And look how anxious Melikuziev is getting. He wants to get in.
Counter left from Melikuziev. This is round 4, scheduled for 10 in the super middleweight division. Somnambulant affair thus far.
If there's any question about Melikuziev's power. He's had 20 knockdowns in his 12 fights, so there's no question he can punch, and he wants to put that on display in this fight. He started to land the straight left hand a lot better in the last round. And there it is again.
Yeah, that was a perfect left hand for Melikuziev right there. But he's got to follow it up with the hook.
Yeah, good point. Melikuziev is a conundrum. He's a power puncher, but he doesn't like to throw too many punches. You know, he wants to be very economical with what he throws. Yeah. Tonight, obviously, an extreme version of that, but still, that's his approach.
Proven to be a one-punch body shot KO artist in his career. I mean, it's incredible. Over half of his last punches are body shots.
And guess what, guys? Those are the easier fighters to counter. And that's why, and that's how Rosado was able to counterpunch Melikuziev, because you would throw one punch, he time it.
Yeah, 52% of all punches he lands are body shots, which is pretty extraordinary.
So Rosado right now, he's got to start timing Melikuziev right now. Jab, jab, wait for him to throw something and come back with some. There it is.
Oh, beautiful right hook, and then the straight left upstairs by Melikuziev. Straight left, splitting the guard of Rosado. Melikuziev beginning to set some rhythm here now. And of course, the jab can set rhythm or break rhythm. Under a minute left in the fourth. And Rosado looking to launch the right hand, bounced it off the shoulder of the southpaw.
Ooh, but that was the one. He's looking for that one.
What Melikuziev has not done is lunge in with his left hand, and that's the reason why he hasn't been hit with the Rosado right hand.
Rosado's corner screaming for Rosado to move his head off the center line. And he got caught right there. Two left hands splitting the guard. And another one. It almost draws Rosado into wanting to exchange leather with Melikuziev. Another right hook. Snaps the right hook off the body of Rosado. Again, Rosado credited with landing only 5 punches in the last round through 37, so 20 less than his average. And Melikuziev not much better, but landing more, 15 of 39 in the fourth.
Yeah, Melikuziev definitely getting this rhythm back, especially when he starts off with the jab, starts moving his legs, and you know, he starts letting them punches go.
You know, Melikuziev's had 42 rounds as a pro to 340 for Rosado. It's interesting when you know, of course, he's less experienced, but this may be a fight, and we're looking at who may go some rounds.
1-2 combination by the southpaw getting through the guard of Rosado. Rosado's faced 8 different title holders, 5 title challengers. We talk about him fighting for a version of a 160-pound title. He's been there, done that. Yeah. He's developed a groove around the sidewalk block of boxing, but here looking to again upset Beck the Bully. Since that fight, he's lost 3 in a row, all 3 via decision. Yes. While Melikuziev has won 4 straight.
And Rosado fights all tough fighters. You know, it's not as if he has a lot of tune-up fights. So that's part of the issue with him in some cases with the losses that he suffers. But you know, he said, I treat boxing like I treat life. Life isn't perfect, and my boxing career isn't perfect, but I don't give up on life, so I'm not going to give up on boxing.
But you know what is perfect? His 2 daughters, Isabella, 13, and Valentina, proud father of 2.
Yeah, there's going to come a point for Rosado where he's going to have to start fighting in the inside. He's going to have to look for the fight.
Wow, what a combination. Backing up Rosado. He's been down 10 times and stood on his feet, but a powerful combination by the southpaw.
The emergence of the left hand, the major part of this fight right now by Melikuziev.
And that's what Rosado's known for. He's got hard nose. I mean, he takes punches really well. I mean, really good chin from Rosado.
Yeah, even though he's been down,
yeah,
he's got that resilience to hang in there.
He's been stopped 4 times, but the last time was against David Lemieux back in 2014.
Yeah, long time ago,
long
right?
Time. Mm-hmm.
Lead left, and there's a snapping job from Melikuziev. And we are 10 seconds away from concluding the first half of this scheduled 10-round bout being contested at 168 pounds. The rematch between Rosado and Melikuziev. Al, you mentioned about Melikuziev's power and the amount of knockdowns, 20 in 12 fights. He's had 1 knockdown in every fight except one against Vaughn Alexander, whom he outpointed in his first scheduled 10-rounder, which took place in only his 4th pro bout in December of 2019.
Yeah, it's pretty extraordinary when you go 10 in your 4th fight as a pro.
And he's beginning to really find a leak in that high guard of Gabriel Rosado as we bring in our unofficial scorer, Steve Farad. How do you have it after 5?
I think fairly predictably, Mo, I have bet the bully ahead 49-46, 4 rounds to 1. First 2 rounds, nothing happened. Impossible to score those rounds, but you have to score them. Otherwise, it's been all the left hand. Bet the bully fully in charge.
Yeah, you mentioned Rosado lost 4 of his last 5 fights, but the combined record of those fighters was 115-8. So to give to say at least he's been facing tough competition, and those were all by decision. So he's a tough dude, even though at 37.
You're never supposed to judge a book by its cover. Don't judge a boxer by his record. 26-16-1 with 1 no decision. Gabe Rosado will give you everything he has.
And that he's doing in this.
Although tonight, I have to say, not what I expected to see from these 2.
Yeah, it's been a more muted performance in general, though Melikuziev in the last few rounds has started to find his offense more, and we'll see if that continues. And obviously the onus is on Rosado to do more offensively.
And that left hand, again, continues to split the high guard of Rosado.
Terry, you want to start jabbing Rosado. You want to start being busier with the punches, straight punches. Keep Melikuziev busy with that.
And you know, this fight for Melikuziev, they wanted the rematch. They've been looking for it. He's doing well. He's winning rounds. One of the things he wanted to do was market himself as a potential 168-pound top contender, and we're going to see David Morrell in a fight shortly, who is a young man who, like him, was a great amateur and is doing well in the pros. And so Melikuziev would like to make sure he gets a win here with an exclamation point.
Half a minute left in the 6th. Straight left again, splits the guard of Rosado on the back foot in the corner. Rosado, right hand to the body, gets countered with another beautiful left from the southpaw Melikuziev. Against Rosado, trying to set that grab. You can see it, but he gets caught and fires a right hand of his own. At the end of 6 rounds, Melikuziev has landed 66 punches, Rosado only 27. Round number 7 scheduled for 10.
Wow, that was really fast, accurate combination from Melikuziev right there. Beautiful ending to the body.
Well, when you're an Olympic silver medalist, you want to showcase that craft. And again, both of them, Al, you mentioned it, a muted offensive output, but here in round 7, beginning to see signs of Bektemir Melikuziev starting to put the pressure on Rosado.
And Melikuziev, you know, the interesting thing is, we know he's not a big volume puncher, but when he throws combinations, they're very effective.
Yeah.
He just doesn't always do it. And there, look at, he threw 2 straight left hands, you know, an interesting combination.
Really good combination. He's been doing it 1, 2 lefts, but he's got to start finishing to the body. That's something that he's known for. He's a body snatcher. When he throws his body shots, they're on cue. They're really, really good and strong. That's how he dropped Rosado in the first fight.
Only time Melikuziev has been down was, well, on the receiving end of that knockout of the year punch by Rosado. What a shot it was.
Oh, man, walked right into it. You know, now the story of this fight is, what can Gabe Rosado do to alter the script at all? And, you know, he's just got to try and find a way to land that right hand, however it can be done.
Three-punch combination for Melikuziev scores. Rosado along the ropes. There's a left uppercut, sneaks in. Sweeping straight left hand by the southpaw Melikuziev. Under a minute left in the 7th.
You know, I almost think Rosado's backing himself against the ropes to give himself a chance to land that counter right hand.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Always, I mean, it's a trap, but you can see it happening.
Yeah, he's trying, but that's a place he doesn't want to be.
No, I agree.
He's getting hit a lot, and when he does it, I mean, you want to take 1, 2 steps and maybe try with the right hand, but don't wait too long.
And he tried there and got countered effectively by the left hand of Melikuziev. 30 seconds left in the 7th. Lead left by Melikuziev.
He's
Manny Pacquiao do that a lot.
He's overthinking the punch right now too much.
Yeah,
Rosado.
I agree. You know, Melikuziev has done less body work in this match than we are accustomed to seeing, but he's doing so well to the head.
A litany of left hands being landed by Melikuziev in the 7th. Over the years, Rosado has definitely shown the ability to take a licking and keep on ticking as we get started here. Round number 8.
Well, you mentioned how long it's been since he's been knocked out, and so he's, you know, he's a durable fighter.
He is. If you don't see, if you don't see Gabe Rosado's face like that, is because he didn't fight it. He's always like that in every fight. He's got the dog in him. He's always in the tough fights, Gabe Rosado. But in this fight in particular, he's got to start letting his hands go. It comes to a point of a fight that, you know, you really have nothing to lose. You know, been in battles, great fights. You know, let it all go. I know it's easier said than done. You know, he doesn't want to get knocked out.
Sure.
You know, put himself in the position, but
Melikuziev pivoting away, and Melikuziev utilizing the real estate, utilizing the footwork, and utilizing that very educated left hand.
yeah, but going back to that, if you don't try, I mean, it's not going to happen. So, Rosado has to let go of the right hand. Don't overthink it.
Counter left by Melikuziev. Goes downstairs to the body with a right hook.
You know, a moment ago, Rosado threw a nice 1-2. He hasn't really done that in this fight.
3 straight lefts that split the guard. The 4th, and now it's Melikuziev teeing off on Rosado and landing at will.
Yeah, you know why? Because he's too busy taking those shots.
Yeah, exactly.
And now you wonder about the punch resistance. We know he's durable, but he's taking flush shots to the face.
Yeah, and like Al pointed, that all these shots that Melikuziev is throwing is all headshots, no body shots, and Rosado's taking all of them.
Nice lead right hook by Melikuziev, who's just now beginning to operate the way he wants, although Rosado coming back with the right out of range.
And Melikuziev's been 10 rounds one time. He's 1-0. As you alluded to earlier, Rosado's 7-6 in 10 rounders. He's also been 12 rounds 7 times. So, of course, he's used to going a long distance. But, again, taking a lot of punishment.
Standing his ground, but taking shot after shot of the left-hand variety. Mouth guard is out.
There's the pressure from Rosado.
And referee calls for the timeout as they search for the mouthpiece.
By the way, great refereeing by Tony Weeks. He gave it a moment to breathe to see if the action was going to slow down so as not to penalize Rosado, because Melikuziev just spit it out accidentally, and then he stopped the action. A
lot of feinting, finally some punches thrown.
You know, it's funny, I was going to say that, Mauro. Melikuziev doesn't always feint, and when he does that, it's very effective.
Nice left hook to the body by Melikuziev and lands the left upstairs. So Rosado is in the danger zone of Melikuziev.
Good replay there. Corrects me.
This is round number 9, scheduled for 10.
Yeah, and that was a little bit of late reaction there, too. He got hit, Melikuziev, with the jab, and then it took him like a few seconds, and he sped it out.
Melikuziev looking to avenge his lone loss that came in June of 2021. Major upset win for Gabriel Rosado. The last win for Rosado, although he gets clubbed to the head there by the southpaw.
Yeah, it's almost like he got angry after Rosado timed a nice right hand.
And according to our unofficial scorer, Steve Farhood, Gabe Rosado will require his 16th knockout victory if he's to make it 2 in a row against the former, well, you're never a former Olympian, you're always an Olympian, an Olympic silver medalist.
You know, since the second round, which, you know, Steve had scored for Rosado, and you can make a case for it, Melikuziev has just controlled almost every second of every round.
And when you land 50% of your power shots, it's a great night at the office.
Yeah, he normally lands 52%, so he is right in the range.
One-two through the guard by Rosado, hands low though. And Melikuziev has to be careful, lunged in with that left hand.
You know, you keep reading my mind, Mark. I was just about to say that. Is there danger for Melikuziev later in this fight? The crowd booing a little, for him to be over anxious and put himself again in harm's way.
You know that the experienced Rosado is thinking about it too, because he's making him miss a lot, and he's got to come a time where he's going to time him. All right, I made you miss 1, 2 punches, but Rosado's just haven't decided to let go of the overhand left.
Yeah.
Right.
Body shot by Melikuziev. Ducks underneath the sweeping hook of Rosado before digging away again to the 37-year-old body of Gabriel Rosado. 45 seconds left in round number 9.
There it was again. He made him miss. You got to make him pay. Well, yes, he made him pay.
Hands, right hook to the body. Melikuziev just adding tattoos to Rosado's body.
And there has been a subtle shift to the body by Melikuziev in the last round or two.
Well, as we mentioned, Al coming in, he's more than half of his connected shots are body shots, which is double the average. That's incredible.
Yeah, that is astonishing.
But it's the head hunting that has proven to be just as effective for Beck the Bully as we head to the 10th and final round. 10th and final round here at T-Mobile Arena. Rematch at 168 pounds. No knockdowns in the fight. Gabriel Rosado stunned by a straight left with just over a minute left in round 5, but he did not go down.
Yeah, in the corner he told Rosado he's going to try to knock you out in this round. Let's see if Melikuziev tries to do that. Definitely hit him with bad intentions to the body. There it is.
When you go for the knockdown, you may potentially leave yourself open for a counter right hand, Al Bernstein.
Yeah, you know, there's still the faint hope for Rosado that he could land that punch if Melikuziev does get over aggressive.
Exchange. Left uppercut by Melikuziev delivered at the right distance. Left uppercut, right hook to the body by Melikuziev.
And Melikuziev is doing what I had originally in the keys, turning. Rosado, and that helps keep him out of the harm's way for the right hand as well.
And when he does that, he gives himself a really good angle for the body shot.
Very good point, yes. You know something about this boxing thing, don't you?
Just a little bit. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, look, see, he heard you.
Three-punch combination culminating with the right hook curled around the guard of Rosado. Again, that lead left has hit that target many times tonight.
Yeah, it's really the headline, isn't it, of this fight? If you had to pick one, it's that left hand of Melikuziev.
And it puts the head of the headline here tonight with a minute 18 left in the fight. No movement off center line by Gabe Rosado. And yet look at him, still throwing shots, coming forward. Bloodied and battered, as Abner Martinez so eloquently put it. It wouldn't be a Gabe Rosado fight if we didn't see the vestiges of battle. Under a minute left here. Referee Tony Weeks looking at Rosado as Melikuziev continues to put on the pressure.
You know, those kind of body punches that he's landing against Rosado, they have put people down. Rosado's hanging in there.
Oh, and there's a left catapult left. The left uppercut landed on the inside for Rosado. 25 seconds left in the fight. Body shots by Melikuziev. It'll be 15 seconds left. Rosado scored the 2021 knockout of the year in one of the bigger upsets in their first meeting. But tonight, they go the distance. It'll be up to the judges to determine a victor.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 10 rounds of action, we have a unanimous decision as all three judges scored about the same, 99 to 91. All three in favor of the winner, Bektemir, the Bully Melikuziev.